Chapter 011 The Chief with Strong Brainstorming Ability. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The moment the Leng family's defensive formation was shattered, Wang Meng called on the many family masters he brought with him to charge towards the Leng family. As for the head of the Li family, he did not hesitate and also let his descendants break into it. Then the two of them stood in the air not far from the Cold War between the head of the Leng family, looking at him teasingly. The strength of the three families is almost the same, and they are all one of the strongest families in the capital. Now that the two families have joined forces, there are twice as many people as the Leng family. For a while, the Leng family's house was filled with mourning. Most of the Leng family's descendants were besieged and severely injured and fell. Cold War looked at this scene even though he was extremely anxious, but he was helpless, facing the other two family heads who are also in the 9th level of Tongxian realm. He has no time to lend a helping hand to the younger ones in the family. You two have destroyed the balance of the three major families. Aren't you afraid that His Majesty will take action and completely raze your family to the ground? That the Cold War saw that as time went by, more and more descendants of the Leng family were hurt, and they could only grit their teeth and move out of His Majesty in an attempt to threaten the two of them. Don't use your Majesty to oppress me. Now even our Majesty may not be able to protect himself, let alone come to save your Leng family. Wang Meng smiled contemptuously and crossed his arms over his chest, not showing any worry at all. The two of them are not in a hurry to take action against the Leng family. They only need to intercept him and wait for the younger generations in the family to completely eradicate the Leng family. What do you mean? Cold War heard that His Majesty could not protect himself, and he frowned immediately. If this is really the case, then the Leng family may have no choice but to admit defeat today. I just don't know if that little girl is in danger. I hope she doesn't return to the capital to die. Just when Wang Meng was planning to continue to speak out against the Cold War mentality and let it defeat itself, an extraordinary-looking young monk wearing luxurious robes slowly rose into the sky. The Leng family can't even win it. How long do you two want me to wait? That the young man had a displeased look on his face, and did not take the two family heads of the 9th level of Tongxian realm into his eyes at all, and scolded them for a while. Please be patient, sir. We are both at the 9th level of Tongxian realm in this Cold War. If we fight for our lives, it will be really troublesome. The lives of the two of us are naturally not worth mentioning, but if it affects the adults, the sin will be huge. Upon seeing this, Wang Meng and the two men quickly bowed respectfully to the young man. The young man's name was Zhang Tianze. Although his realm was only at the 5th level of Tongxian realm, the two of them did not dare to be rude. After all, Zhang Tianze is the chief disciple of Luo Tianzong, and if nothing unexpected happens, he has a high chance of taking over as the next sect leader in 200 years at most with his talent. Humph, that's ridiculous. Zhang Tianze heard this but dismissed it, as if he was not afraid of the 9th level of Tongxian realm. As long as your Leng family hands over Leng Yanran and becomes my servant, I will let you go. How about that? Then he turned to look at Cold War, who looked wary, and said in a calm tone. My lord, to be honest, Yanran is not at home at this time. Please sir, let the two of them stop their hands first. Isn't it too late to discuss this matter after Yanran comes back? Although Cold War was unwilling in his heart, he had to bow his head under the eaves at this time, so he could only pretend to agree for the time being and wait for Yanran to come back before he could think of a solution. The expressions of the two family heads behind Zhang Tianze also changed slightly because of his words. The head of the Li family came to attack the Leng family this time. What he wanted was to use Leng Yanran as a furnace to break through the bottleneck before his end. If Zhang Tianze wanted that Leng Yanran, wouldn't he be hopeless? As for Wang Meng, his face turned pale. He sent 3 Tongxian realm assassins to intercept and kill Leng Yanran. It's over now. Even though Leng Yanran is extremely talented, facing 3 Tongxian realm masters chasing after her, she will definitely end up dead. When he thought of this, cold sweat broke out on Wang Meng's forehead. This time, Zhang Tianze was offended to death. He just hoped to see if he could find a chance to run away before the news came back. Just when everyone was having different thoughts, Zhang Tianze was about to continue speaking when his eyes suddenly lit up and he saw a figure in the distance that people couldn't take their eyes off. coming through the air at great speed, isn't it the Leng Yanran he wants? Zhang Tianze suddenly showed a smile and waved slightly, indicating to the two family heads to stop temporarily, and the two had no choice but to do so. When Wang Meng saw Leng Yanran's figure, his eyes widened in disbelief, but he let out a long sigh of relief. Yanran, leave quickly. After Leng Qin gritted his teeth and struggled for a moment, a trace of determination flashed in his eyes, and he turned to Leng Yanran and shouted. Originally, he pretended to agree to Zhang Tianze just to temporarily alleviate the casualties of the Leng family. He never thought of actually handing over Leng Yanran as a bargaining chip to save the Leng family. Now that he saw Leng Yanran rushing back to the Leng family, he immediately made up his mind and planned to help Leng Yanran escape, while he himself would fight to the death. How far the younger members of the family can escape depends on fate. If something like an ant dares to ruin my master's important affairs, you will not be able to survive or die. That when Zhang Tianze heard what Cold War said, his smiling face suddenly fell, but Leng Yanran seemed not to hear it, and instead of turning around and running away, she moved a little faster. A moment later, he was standing above the Leng family, confronting everyone. I originally thought that it was just the Wang family and the Li family who joined forces, but I didn't expect that the chief disciple of Luo Tianzong was involved. Leng Yanran suddenly frowned. If it were in the past, let alone Luo Tianzong, it would be difficult for her to think of a solution if the Wang and Li families alone joined forces. If it were a behemoth like the Luo Tian sect that towered over the Moro kingdom, she would be unable to provoke them and could only try her best to protect herself, but it was different now. When she thought about the master who existed like an immortal behind her, Leng Yanran showed no fear at all when facing everyone. Instead, she adopted a posture of looking down. She could not embarrass her Tiandao pavilion or her master. You rats, if you attack my Leng family today, have you thought about the consequences? Leng Yanran looked down at everyone for a week, then when she opened her mouth, everyone's jaws dropped. Even Leng Qing looked at Leng Yanran in surprise, a little confused, facing the Wang and Li families, as well as the chief of Luo Tianzong. How could Leng Yanran be so confident? Haha, that's it. Others say that Leng Yanran is very capable in dealing with things. It turns out that she is so when we see her today. You just showed up, and you can see the situation clearly at a glance. You know that I am here for her, so why don't you just raise my banner? Wonderful, wonderful. Zhang Tianze was stunned for a moment, then his eyes lit up, as if he had figured it out, and he immediately clapped and praised him, and everyone who was originally stunned by Leng Yanran's words suddenly understood after hearing this, and couldn't help but glance at Leng Yanran. This woman is really smart. Chapter 012. If you want the horse to run. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ba, bang, bang. Zhang Tianze burst into applause, accompanied by words of explanation. For a moment, everyone present showed expressions of sudden realization, and when they looked at Leng Yanran, they couldn't help but feel a little more fearful. This woman's character is too terrible. As soon as he showed up, he noticed the overall situation at a glance, and immediately chose the behavior that was most beneficial to him. As long as they are tied to Zhang Tianze, what do the Wang and Li families count? Maybe Zhang Tianze would even punish the other two families and give some compensation to the Leng family for her sake. Simply terrible. The head of the Wang family and the Li family were a little panicked. They never expected that Leng Yanran had such means and vision. It's not easy. If Zhang Tianze really wants to support her, their family will suffer a lot. Not only did I not get any benefits this time, I might even lose a fortune. Yes, you are very good. As my servants, I can indeed treat them as ants. Today, I will support you, he he he. Come to my side. After Zhang Tianze praised her for a while, he looked Leng Yanran up and down and couldn't help but admire. She is indeed a beauty in the world. Now he couldn't wait to put his hands on it, so he wanted to call him to come to him, but Leng Yanran was unmoved, and instead looked at him with a strange look, as if, looking at an idiot. I'll give you 10 breaths to retreat. If you don't attack the Leng family again, I'll spare your life. If not, just stay here today. Leng Yanran looked at Zhang Tianze for a long time before she regained her composure and continued to speak to everyone indifferently. these words fell into the ears of everyone. They just looked at me and I looked at you, and finally focused on Zhang Tianze. It's okay to have a temper, but you have to listen to what I say. Come here. Zhang Tianze was a little embarrassed for a moment when everyone was watching him. The smile on his face disappeared and he shouted again in a commanding tone. He even stretched out his hand slightly, grasped the void, and the spiritual energy formed a palm that stretched forward, trying to capture Yanran in front of him. The spiritual energy that was mobilized casually made the three family heads in the 9th level of Tongxian realm take a breath of cold air. The purity of this spiritual energy is even purer than theirs. If he really takes action, even a person at the 4th level of Tongxian realm will be enough to fight with their 9th level, or even be stronger. Break. Yanran raised her brows and didn't care at all. She just raised her green hand and pointed at it casually. Is this girl crazy? That lord casually struck me. Even the 9th level of Tongxian realm would not dare to treat him like this. Is it possible that your brain was frightened and you actually planned to take it with one finger? That everyone present suddenly seemed to have seen a big joke. In their opinion, Zhang Tianze, as the chief disciple of Luo Tianzong, this attack is probably enough to suppress most of the Tongxian realm experts. How can Yanran stop him, let alone such an understatement? But the moment the spiritual palm touched Yanran's index finger, everyone was dumbfounded. Crack! With a crisp sound, the palm of his hand shattered like fragile glass. It must be that the adult was afraid of hurting the little girl, so he didn't use any force, right? It seems that with that move just now, the master planned to use his momentum to make this girl surrender. I didn't expect that this guy didn't know what is good and what is good. That should be the case, but if this girl from the Ling family doesn't give you face, I'm afraid it won't end well. After everyone present was stunned for a moment, they quickly came to their senses and found the most suitable reason to convince themselves. But Zhang Tianze frowned slightly. If others didn't know, how could he not know it himself? Although he didn't use all his strength with that blow just now, it was at least able to suppress all opponents below the middle stage of Tongxian realm, and from the blow just now, Zhang Tianze also saw some clues. Yanran is not the Yukong realm rumored by everyone, but a real Tongxian realm cultivation level. Even the 3 Tongxian realm family heads on the side saw this problem. No wonder I was able to escape from the hands of 3 Tongxian realm killers. It turns out that I hid my cultivation before. Wang Meng narrowed his eyes slightly and finally figured out how Yanran escaped from the hands of the 3 killers. Yanran, when did you break through to the Tongxian realm? Could it be that you hid your cultivation before? But even Cold War looked shocked and couldn't help but ask. When Yanran broke through to the Tongxian realm, he, the head of the Ling family, didn't even know. I will discuss these with the head of the family in detail later, but Yanran was indeed at the 4th level of the Sky Control realm before. It's just that I met Master, and I broke through to the Tongxian realm in one day. Yanran glanced in the direction of the head of the house and answered the head of the house's question casually. Regarding the Master's power, Yanran felt that there was no need to hide it, and she was determined to make the Master's name and Tiandao Pavilion resound throughout the world. Other than that, she couldn't think of any better way to repay Master's kindness. You are quite good at joking. You have broken through to the Tongxian realm in one day. Do you think you are the reincarnation of an immortal? Since you want to use my banner to settle the 2 aristocratic families today, you should listen carefully to my words. If you want a horse to run, you have to give it grass. You don't understand this, right? Zhang Tianze smiled disdainfully. Even if she broke through the Tongxian realm, she still couldn't escape from his grasp, but that's fine. The dual cultivation cauldron in Tongxian realm is much stronger than that in Yukong realm. When the potential is used up, just with this good-looking skin, even if you lose your cultivation and stay by your side as a maid, it will be good. Presumptuous. I, Yanran, am now a disciple of Tiandao Pavilion. Even if it is grass, I have to be fed by Master. How can it be your turn? When Yanran heard the guy's words, her expression suddenly turned ugly, and she even became murderous towards Zhang Tianze. TSK, are you starting to raise the flag again? Very good, I will educate you in advance today. Zhang Tianze disagrees, Tiandao Pavilion. This little girl really dares to brag about her movie. Which sect dares to use the name of heaven, and it can't withstand the punishment of heaven, right? If you can take my 3 moves without defeat, I will retreat right now. Qing Tao Ghost Slash. As soon as he finished speaking, without waiting for Leng Yanran to agree, he directly used his hand to make the first blow with a knife, and used a full 80% of his strength. Devil's Finger. Leng Yanran's pupils shrank when she saw this. Facing the chief of Luo Tianzong, she didn't dare to look down on him, so she directly used her strongest attack with all her strength. The 2 figures collided in an instant. Chapter 013 The Strong Man Who Returns to the Ruins shows his trump card. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Boom! As the 2 figures collided together, dust, smoke and tiles flew everywhere, mixed with many sharp swords flying out. Everyone who was affected had wounds that were deep enough to see the bones. Ah! My legs! My eyes! It's so terrifying. Master Zhang's move, just the sword light emanating from the aftermath, is so terrifying. Presumably Leng Yanran will be seriously injured even if she doesn't die. Everyone who was affected screamed, and everyone was stunned by the power of this move. They thought that if the target was themselves, they would have become scum. This blow would have caused considerable damage to monks like us who are in the 9th level of Tongxian realm. As expected of the chief disciple of the Luo Tian sect, if all the trump cards are revealed, I am afraid that he will be able to survive in front of a strong man from the ruins realm. You know, he is only at the 4th level of Tongxian realm. The heads of the 3 major families also widened their eyes when they saw this scene, especially Cold War, who clenched his fists even more, his palms full of sweat, and almost couldn't help but rush forward to save Leng Yanran, but he knew that if he did it himself, the other 2 family heads would not let it go. So I could only choose to grit my teeth and endure it. As the dust and smoke dispersed, 2 figures were revealed. Everyone was so frightened that their eyes widened and they could fit an egg in their mouths. Leng Yanran, who originally thought she was going to be severely injured, was safe and sound. On the other hand, Mr. Zhang, whom they favored and fawned over, was struck by that finger and almost lost half of his body. There is no trace of his right arm and his right shoulder, and there is still a black evil spirit eroding from the wound. Thump. Zhang Tianze knelt on the ground in pain, sweat breaking out from the pain on his forehead. So weak. Leng Yanran was slightly absent-minded. She didn't expect that this guy looked so strong, but turned out to be so weak. But again, this sentence was very weak, and it was also said to herself. After seeing the master's heavenly demon finger with the 3rd level of Qi Condensation Realm, she felt that she was extremely weak. How dare you hurt the chief of my sect? Before everyone could recover, an old man with a gloomy face had appeared next to Zhang Tianze, took out a pill and put it into his mouth, and used his spiritual power to suppress the continued erosion of the evil spirit. I think it's not easy for you to cultivate. Please hurry up and capture me. Follow this elder back to Luo Tian's sect to be punished. I won't be able to spare your life. The elder looked at Leng Yanran with a gloomy look, and cursed him half to death in his heart. He followed the chief disciple out to protect the Dharma, but caused the chief disciple to be so severely injured. This was a huge dereliction of duty, and he would definitely be punished when he returned. And the woman in front of him is the culprit. Take her back to the sect. I hope the sect leader can give him a lenient sentence. The younger one is here, the older one is here. Take my devil finger first and then talk. Leng Yanran raised her brows. Although she could not tell the realm of the old man in front of her, he was at least a powerful expert in the ruins realm. However, she did not intend to capture him without any help. That would simply embarrass her master. Moreover, even if this guy is in the Return to Ruins realm or even a stronger Nirvana realm expert, so what? Master gave her a trump card to save her life. Thinking of this, Leng Yanran pointed at the old man without any hesitation. Humph, it's just a trick. The old man snorted coldly, condensed his spiritual power in his palm, turned it into sharp claws and grabbed at Leng Yanran. When their palms collided, Yanran grunted and stepped back 10 feet before releasing the force. The old man seemed to be unharmed and did not take a step back. He inadvertently put his hands behind his back, so that no one noticed his trembling palms. A mere second level of Tongxian realm can actually unleash such terrifying attack power. What kind of magical power does this little girl practice? But some small tricks are useless under my strength at the 7th level of the ruins realm. That the old man was secretly surprised, but he was still confident. With his strength, it would not be a problem to capture this woman. The people around were also amazed when they saw it. Is this a strong man from the ruins realm? The magical power that severely injured Mr. Zhang with one finger has no effect. But this Yanran's strength surprised me a little. She is so terrifying. If he is allowed to practice for some more time, won't he be able to defeat the Guishu realm, and the Leng family will completely crush the other 2 aristocratic families? That everyone was talking, and even the 3 family heads were surprised. They didn't expect Yanran to have such strength. They even felt that Yanran was now capable of fighting against the 9th level of Tongxian realm, and might even gain the upper hand. And all of this should come from that terrifying magical finger. Thinking of this, the 2 masters looked at Cold War with a little more scruples in their eyes. If Cold War could also use that magical power, wouldn't it be possible to kill them both easily? Let's see how long you can resist. Without any delay, the old man stepped forward again and attacked Yanran. Yanran could only use the heavenly demon finger to deal with it continuously. Even though her Qi expanded 100 times due to the chaos heavenly demon art, it still took too much to keep using the heavenly demon finger. After a while, I felt that my spiritual power was somewhat insufficient, and it became increasingly difficult to cope with it. The old man also became more and more frightened as he fought. He originally thought that this kind of magical power must be a life-saving magical power that consumes a lot of money. At the 2nd level of the Tongxian realm, he could only use it 2 or 3 times at most, but Yanran pointed out more than 10 fingers, but she still hadn't exhausted her spiritual energy. How can it not be shocking? It's a pity that the gap in realm is still too huge after all. What, the spiritual energy is gone? Let's see how you can resist now. Seeing that Yanran had stopped taking action, the old man sneered and raised his hand to grab her neck, but at this moment, Yanran let out a long sigh. Everyone thought she knew the tragedy she was about to face, so they sighed, but Yanran took out a jade pendant from her arms and crushed it without hesitation with a click to the old man. It's a pity. After all, I used the trump card that Master left for me. Yanran murmured in a low voice, and in front of her, a demon emitting waves of evil aura suddenly appeared, looking at the attacking old man with scarlet eyes, pointed out. The old man realized something was wrong and wanted to retreat, but under the gaze of the demon's scarlet eyes, he felt as if he was being restrained, unable to move at all. I could only watch helplessly as the demon pointed at the center of my eyebrows. With one finger drop, the demon disappeared, as if it had never existed, but the cold sweat that covered everyone present reminded them that the scene just now was real. The terrifying aura made them want to kneel on the ground and tremble, but they lost control of their bodies. Looking at the old man again, he found that he was standing there blankly, his eyes had lost their energy, and there was a hole between his eyebrows. There was even more evil energy spreading from the wound. Within a moment, the old man was completely eroded by the evil energy and scattered like dust. Chapter 014 Is there another strong man in the ruins realm? Dead end? You are listening at novelfull.audio. What was that just now? Just the terrifying aura emanating from that thing made me unable to move at all, as if life and death were out of my control. It's terrible, I won't fight, I want to go home, I want to go home. I don't want to die, don't kill me, monster. As the old man turned into dust and dissipated, everyone on the scene couldn't help but swallow. When they looked at Yanran, their eyes were full of fear. There are also many mentally handicapped people who were immediately frightened into madness after being glanced at by the devil. Including the 3 family heads of the 9th level of Tongxian realm, they all felt trembling at this time and resisted the urge to escape from this place. Yanran, what was that just now? Cold War was the first to come to his senses, wiped the cold sweat from his forehead, and asked with some lingering fear. It's just the means that Master left for me. But now that the trouble has been solved, the head of the family should clean up the battlefield quickly. As for the Li family and the Wang family, after today, 50% of the property will be ceded to my Ling family. Will you spare your lives? Are you willing? Leng Yanran nodded slightly to Cold War, then looked at the other two family heads. If she hadn't exhausted her spiritual power just now, she would have just killed those two people right here. However, after today, the other two major families would probably not dare to attack the Ling family again, but now that I have offended Luo Tianzong, it is a bit troublesome. I am afraid that I will need to trouble the master again after I go back. Thinking of this, Leng Yanran felt a little ashamed. The trouble of going down the mountain was not solved, but caused new trouble for the master who needed help. I, Wang Meng, have no objection. I will give you 50% of my property after today. I, the Li family, have no objection. The two heads of the family looked at each other, bowed their hands to Leng Yanran, and immediately agreed. They didn't dare to bet on whether Leng Yanran could use the terrible method just now. Even the strong men in the ruins realm can't stop them, so what do they mean? Moreover, Leng Yanran's strength is now obvious to all. Even if they don't cede resources today, they can still suppress the two of them when the Leng family is ready. After hearing the words of the two major families, Leng Yanran looked at Cold War. Get out! Cold War immediately understood, and with a cold snort told the two families to get out. Nowadays, many of the Ling family's descendants are seriously injured and need timely treatment. He has no time to find trouble for the two of them now. Farewell. The two of them did not dare to stay longer, so they took their own clansmen and quickly fled the Ling family with the frightened lost heart maniacs. Witch, you witch! Just when Leng Yanran was about to cross her legs and adjust her breathing, a voice came into her ears. She looked up and found that it was Zhang Tianze who had just been crippled and seriously injured by a finger. Kill me if you dare. Ha ha ha, Luo Tianzong will not let you Ling family go. You probably won't be able to use your method a second time, right? Today, you Ling family members will be buried with me. Zhang Tianze's face was ferocious. Not only did that finger severely injure half of his body, but also shattered a corner of his qi. His spiritual energy leaked out and he would no longer be able to practice in the future. He is the majestic chief of the Luo Tian sect and a well-deserved proud son of heaven. If he had not met Leng Yanran, a monster, he would have been able to step into the realm of nirvana with his talent in the future, and it would not be a bad idea to take over the position of the sect leader. But today, the path of cultivation was cut off by this witch. How hateful. What do you mean? If you don't explain clearly, I will cut you into a stick. When Leng Yanran heard his words, she couldn't help but feel uneasy. Without caring about adjusting her breath, she picked up a long sword from the ground and stabbed Zhang Tianze's other arm mercilessly. In front of her master, she is soft and weak, but facing the enemy, she, Leng Yanran, is not a virgin. Cough. What if I tell you? Now in the capital palace, there are still elders from the Gue Su realm of our Luo Tian sect sitting in charge. Otherwise, why do you think the emperor can't show up? Now that you have killed my sect elder and deposed my chief disciple, your Leng family is finished. Which, Zhang Tianze stared resentfully at the face in front of him that no man could refuse, but at this moment he no longer had the greed he had before, but only hatred remained. It's all these damn women. The sword light flashed, and Zhang Tianze's eyes were full of resentment, but he felt that his vision was a little blurry, and he could only vaguely see a body without a head. Oh, it turns out it's mine. Leng Yanran looked indifferent and threw the sword aside, but she felt worried in her heart. According to what this guy said, there is still a strong man from the Luo Tian sect in the Ruishu realm in the capital at this time. Now that the trump card given by her master has been used, what should she do? Yanran, let's go. If you succeed in your cultivation in the future, you will be able to avenge my Ling family. After being silent for a moment, Cold War walked forward and said in a calm tone. Hearing this, Leng Yanran frowned. If it were before, she could advance and retreat with the Ling family and fight to the death to repay the Ling family for their kindness in raising her, but now, she has become Master's disciple. If she falls here, wouldn't it be a waste of Master's cultivation for her? Thinking of this, Ling Yanran couldn't help but feel a little confused. Call. Master, there is no need to say anything. I am still a member of the Ling family today. If the Ling family survives this disaster, it will not be too late to say so. Ling Yanran's eyes gradually became firm and she laughed at herself. I didn't expect that I would be so timid at times, wanting to run away before I even saw the enemy. If he really escaped, where would the Master's face be and where would the Tiandao Pavilion's face be? Even if you die, you can't lose any face to your Master. This. Cold War was stunned for a moment, and wanted to persuade him a few more words, but suddenly his expression changed drastically and he turned around to look. In the direction of the palace, a menacing figure struck quickly. How brave! I didn't expect that in this Moro country, someone would dare to kill someone from our Luo Tian sect. Damn ants, that the people coming were loud and powerful, even though they were several miles apart. The sound was so loud that it hurt people's ears, and their strength reached the terrifying level of the 9th level of Guishu realm. A moment later, the visitor was already hanging above the Ling family, looking down at everyone as if he were looking at a group of scum who were about to be judged. Who did it? That's all, you guys will be buried together with the ants. Luo Tian's big hand seal, that before everyone in the Ling family could answer, the strong man in the ruins realm raised his hand in anger and used his magical power, condensing a palm that could cover the sky and the sun. The powerful coercion emanating from it made everyone in the Ling family stunned. Get up, then he slapped the Ling family hard with his palm. Boom. Chapter 015 Yanran is in danger. Chen Daoxuan takes action. You are listening at novelfull.audio. As the old man from the Guishu realm pressed down with his palm, Luo Tian's big handprint followed with a rumbling sound and moved towards the Ling family's mansion to suppress it. The younger generations of the Ling family were already lying on the ground unable to move just by feeling the terrifying pressure. The huge gap in their realms prevented them from even thinking about resisting. Even Cold War, the head of the 9th level of the Tongxian realm, could only grit his teeth and support himself when faced with the powerful Luo Tian Madra of the Guishu realm, his waist becoming more and more bent. It's too scary. Is this the strength of a strong man from the ruins realm? I don't know if Ling Yanran can still bring out the terrifying treasure just now. If not, I'm afraid it will be reduced to ashes under this palm today. The strong man of Luo Tian's sect is indeed not a being that we can contend with, and his sect master has the strength of the Nirvana realm. What kind of terrifying existence must he be? The Ling family, it's over. In the capital, many forces were watching this battle. Seeing that the Ling family was about to perish, many families were already ready to take action. He planned to wait until the strong men from the Guishu realm killed the Ling family, and then take action as soon as possible and start to rob the Ling family's property in the city. Especially the Wang and Li families, they originally thought that their vitality would be severely damaged after this incident, and they would have to compensate the Ling family with huge resources, but now, both families have hope again. As long as the Ling family is destroyed in the hands of the powerful Luo Tianzong, not only will the two families suffer no losses, they will even make huge profits. It can be said that almost 99% of the people in the entire capital are looking forward to the demise of the Ling family. Cold War, on the other hand, looked at Ling Yanran with a hint of hope in his eyes, but he found that Ling Yanran also had a look of determination on her face, and it seemed that she had no way to save her life. My Ling family is really finished this time. Cold War smiled bitterly, and closed his eyes in despair when facing the big handprint of Luo Tian that was about to fall on him. Finally, with a loud boom, a handprint shaped dozens of meters deep appeared on the ground around the Ling family's mansion. Everyone thought that the Ling family had been completely destroyed by this powerful man from the Return to Ruins realm, but everyone in the Ling family looked at each other in shock, unable to believe that they could survive this blow. Finally, everyone's eyes focused on a floating jade pendant in front of Ling Yanran. A jade pendant whose grade could not be seen, with only the word Leng on it, exuded a gleaming light, floating in front of Leng Yanran. Is this the jade pendant given by Master? Leng Yanran herself was a little confused. She thought she was going to die and would no longer be able to repay her teacher's kindness, but I didn't expect that the jade pendant given by the Master, which can freely enter and exit the Tiandao Palace, would have such a strange effect. Defensive magic weapon. The elder of the Luo Tian sect in the air couldn't help but frown slightly, and he didn't expect that Leng Yanran had such a defensive magic weapon that could block the attack of the 9th-level warrior in the Guishu realm. But even so, he didn't take it seriously. This kind of magic weapon consumes a lot of money. Even if you can block it for a while, you won't be able to hold on for long. Later, as long as everyone in the Leng family is destroyed, he can still keep this magic weapon in his pocket. It's a happy event. The magic weapon that can block his full blow must be at least a Xian-level magic weapon, which is priceless. At this time, in Shiwu Mountain, there was a small pavilion in front of the Tiandao Palace. Chen Daoxuan was sipping tea leisurely, waiting for his disciple to return, but suddenly his brows furrowed, and the system prompt message rang in his mind. It is detected that the host's disciple is under a life-threatening attack. Spend 100 system points to make a move from the air, body strength. Spending 1000 system points, you can descend to the main body for 10 minutes, you will return safely to the Temple of Heaven if you die or the time expires. You may give up and ask the host to choose. At the same time, a picture formed by a water mirror appeared outside the pavilion, revealing Leng Yanran's situation in front of Chen Daoxuan. Looking at the picture, although Leng Yanran was not injured, she still looked a little embarrassed, and Chen Daoxuan frowned. He finally found a disciple. If he just ignored him and let him die young, it would be a real loss. In the future, he still hopes to rely on Leng Yanran, his disciple, to help him find more talented people to join his sect. Besides, this is his first disciple, how can he let him fall? Moreover, he is a great disciple. But, succubus must be saved. Spend 100 system points. Chen Daoxuan pondered for a moment and decided to first choose 100 system points to take action from the air to resolve the crisis. As the voice fell, he felt that he could launch an attack directly through the water mirror and land on the spot. Heavenly Monument. Chen Daoxuan, who was not sure whether he could defeat the enemy with his 3rd-level Qi Condensation Realm by relying on the Heavenly Demon Finger, decided to directly use the stronger magical power in the Heavenly Demon Art. A stone tablet full of ancient atmosphere appeared in the palm of his hand, and Chen Daoxuan gently threw it towards the Luo Tianzong elder in the water mirror. As Chen Daoxuan took action from a distance, Leng Yanran's beautiful eyes widened and she found that the jade pendant in front of her slowly condensed into a water mirror. Through the water mirror, although I couldn't see clearly, I could vaguely see a figure, throwing something casually. Even though the water mirror was full of waves and her face couldn't be seen clearly, she still recognized it. Master! Leng Yanran exclaimed, seeing the sudden change in the jade pendant. The elder of Luo Tianzong in the air felt a little uneasy, and for some reason he felt an urge to escape from this place. But before he had time to react, a small stone tablet appeared out of thin air in the water mirror. With a whoosh sound, the stone tablet appeared directly above the head of the Luo Tianzong elder, locking his aura. Damn it, what kind of evil magic is this? Why can't I move? The elder was horrified to find that as the stone tablet locked onto his aura, he actually lost control of his body. Looking up at the stone tablet, I found that the stone tablet began to grow in size, reaching a height of 3,000 feet, and then stopped changing. A huge shadow shrouded the world, as if the world was completely banned. Everyone lost control of their bodies, and even their thoughts began to become dull. Buzz, the stone tablet trembled slightly and then smashed down. Boom! The stone tablet fell to the ground and plunged hundreds of feet into the ground before stopping. As for the figure of the elder, there was no trace of it for a long time. The moment it touched the stone tablet, it turned into ashes. Fortunately, the Leng family's mansion is not within the scope of the stone monument, otherwise the Leng family would really cease to exist. What kind of terrifying magical power is this? Chapter 016 An Immortal at the 3rd level of Qi Condensation Realm. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After the stone tablet fell to the ground, everyone regained control over their bodies. Everyone feels as if they have walked through the gate of hell, as if they have already half-stepped into the hall of hell. If that blow was aimed at them, no one could stop it. Look at the 3,000-foot stone tablet erected not far from the Ling family's residence. It's completely pitch black, surrounded by evil spirits, and the fierce looks of the 10 demons are engraved on the tablet. There are also rows of densely packed inscriptions written in an unknown font. No, more like names. Look, there are new words at the bottom of the monument. The elder of Luo Tianzong, Zhang Wanfeng, has cultivated to the 9th level of Guishu realm. With a flash of black light, the elder's message appeared at the bottom of the inscription. I see. It seems that all the records on this 3,000-foot monument are the people who died on this monument. Horrible. No, look, Zhang Wanfeng's name is disappearing. Why is this? I understand, his strength is not worthy of appearing on the monument, and he will be despised by the monument, so he covered it up. Isn't it worthy of leaving a name on the monument after death in the 9th level of Guishu realm, that before the monks in the city could recover from the terrifying pressure of the heavenly monument, they were shocked by their own guesses and stretched their chins. A strong man from the 9th level of Guishu realm is enough to subvert their entire Moro kingdom. But it's not enough to leave a name on the monument after death. What kind of terrifying magical power can this terrifying existence display? Hundreds of thousands of mortals in the city paid homage in the direction of the heavenly monument, murmuring to themselves, begging God to forgive their sins. Just now, everyone in the entire city felt that they were so close to death for the first time. Including mortals. Yanran, is this? After Han Qin came to his senses, he pointed at the monument and asked. Why? Master took action. I didn't expect that the first time I went down the mountain, not only did I use the life-saving means given by my master, but it was not enough. I actually asked my master to take action himself to resolve the crisis. I am really ashamed of my master's cultivation. Ling Yanran stared blankly at the heavenly monument and felt the aura on it. Although it was her first time to see the magical power of this heavenly monument, she could feel the evil aura on it, which was closely related to the chaos heavenly demon art she had practiced. They are of the same origin, it must be a more powerful magical power among the heavenly demon techniques. Here, there is something I don't know whether to ask or not. Cold War looked at the monument and couldn't come back to his senses for a long time. Finally, he hesitated for a while and muttered to himself. The head of the family is going to put it bluntly. After this incident, Yanran should reduce unnecessary visits with the Ling family. But the head of the family can rest assured that I will solve the troubles with Luo Tianzong. Hearing Ling Yanran's words, Ling Qin was slightly startled, and then gave two wry smiles. Indeed, the Ling family has become a burden to Ling Yanran, and because of Ling Yanran's specialness, she will attract more and bigger powerful people to covet her in the future, and they cannot keep the Ling family. That's fine. After all, Ling Yanran is not a descendant of his Ling family. What is the realm of the master you speak of? That what Cold War is most concerned about at this time is how high Master Ling Yanran's level has reached and whether it is enough to protect her safety. Master's realm? I don't know, but, even if he's not an immortal, he's almost there, right? Ling Yanran was slightly stunned. She didn't have an answer to this question herself, so she could only express her guess. Immortal. Immortal. That's right. Just by shooting from a distance, you can use such terrifying magical powers. It's no exaggeration to say that he is an immortal. After Cold War was surprised, he actually nodded without any doubt. At this time, Chen Daoxuan, who had not yet dissipated the water mirror, listened to the conversation between the two, and the corner of his mouth twitched. Immortal. An immortal from the 3rd level of Qi Condensation Realm. Yanran, take care of the matter and return to the mountain as soon as possible. Seeing that the crisis had been resolved, Chen Daoxuan didn't want to meddle in the Ling family's affairs anymore. After leaving a word, he wanted to disperse the water mirror, and the 3,000-foot-high sky monument also shrank smaller and smaller following Chen Daoxuan's words, and turned back into a small stone monument less than the size of a palm. With a swish sound, it went back at the last moment when the water mirror disappeared. Yes, congratulations, Master. Upon seeing this, Yanran quickly knelt down on one knee and saluted to the water mirror. It wasn't until the water mirror dispersed that the jade pendant floating in front of her fell back to her chest. Touching the jade pendant gently, there was still some warmth on it. The master not only left himself a means to save his life, he even secretly left such a backup plan. How much care did he care for her? When she thought of this, Yanran just wanted to return to Shiwu Mountain as soon as possible and serve her master. I'll leave it to the head of the family to deal with any troubles in the city. I decided to go back to the mountain immediately and think about how to solve Luo Tianzong's next trouble. Yanran looked at the dilapidated Ling family, but she didn't have much trouble in her heart. Instead, she took a longer-term view. Not only did they kill the chief disciple of the Luo Tian sect today, they also killed 2 elders of the Return to Ruins realm. Even the Luo Tian sect would be in great pain and would definitely not let the Ling family go so easily. And she must rise to a higher level before Luo Tianzong punishes her. In the past, it would have been impossible, but now it is different. With Master, nothing is impossible. Go with ease. Luo Tianzong has damaged 2 Ruishi realm experts and will not take action easily until the investigation is clear. Cold War nodded solemnly, and then he and many other Ling family disciples watched Yanran Yukong leave. On this day, too many changes occurred in the capital of the Moro Kingdom. Originally, many aristocratic families were waiting for the Ling family to be destroyed so that they could seize the Ling family's resources and industries, but now, all the aristocratic families are dumbfounded. They didn't expect that even the powerful Luo Tianzong from the 9th level of Guishu realm would fall into the hands of the Ling family. Especially the Li family and the Wang family were extremely panicked. In the end, the 2 of them discussed it and decided not to hand over the 50% to the Ling family that they had agreed upon before, but added a full 10%, handing over 60% of the property. At this time, in the palace, a middle-aged man wearing a luxurious dragon robe and an extraordinary bearing was shocked from ear to ear after hearing the report from his subordinates. As the emperor of the Moro Kingdom, he had no power to resist when facing the strong men from the 9th level of the Guishu realm of the Luo Tian sect. I didn't expect that the usually inconspicuous Ling family would have such terrifying methods. Especially when he recalled the 3,000-foot sky monument that appeared out of thin air. Even when he was far away in the palace, he felt as if death was waving to him. Yanran, what kind of adventure could make her so terrifying overnight? Chapter 017 Opportunity to Make a Fortune. Luo Tianzong's Plan. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Shiwu Mountain, in the small pavilion outside the Tiandao Palace, Chen Daoxuan couldn't help but be slightly startled when he heard the prompt in his mind. Kill the 9th level of Guishu realm, and you will be rewarded with 90 system points. Previously, the reward for killing Tongxian realm was only 1 point. It seems that in the Return to Ruins realm, there should be a 10 system point reward for each level of advancement. Based on this, the shot that cost 100 system points just now has almost paid back. Originally, one shot cost 100 system points. He was still a little distressed, but for the sake of his only disciple, he couldn't ignore it. But now, after all, it only cost 10 points, and I felt a lot more comfortable. View System Points. System Points, 2,164. Huh. How come there are more system points? Chen Daoxuan was a little confused, and then checked the system point acquisition record. The host's eldest disciple Yanran killed the 7th heaven of Guishu realm and obtained 70 system points. The host's great disciple, Yanran, killed the 4th level of Tongxian realm and obtained 4 system points. I see. It seems that enemies killed by disciples will also gain system points. Then this wave, no losses but profits. Well. It just so happens that Yanran has formed a relationship with Luo Tianzong now. After she returns to the mountain, find an opportunity to arrange for her to deal with Luo Tianzong. Are you going to get rich? As he thought about it, Chen Daoxuan's eyes became brighter and brighter. In his mind, Luo Tianzong had become a treasure house of system points. Apparently he has made up his mind and plans to wait for the right time to let Yanran go down the mountain to harvest the big leak of Luo Tianzong. He can't kill innocent people for system points, but if they are enemies, hey. It's just that the 9th level of Guishu realm seems quite weak. Recalling the scene just now, Chen Daoxuan was a little confused, although he knew that his 3rd level of Qi Condensation Realm also had extremely strong strength. He did not have an accurate expectation. For this reason, when he took action just now, he had planned to exchange for 2 more chances to kill his opponent if he couldn't kill him in one hit. Unexpectedly, with just one blow, the strong man from the 9th level of the Ruins realm turned into dust, simply, too weak. Fortunately, no one knew about this idea, otherwise someone would have shouted monster, that even if someone from the 3rd level of Qi Condensation Realm instantly killed a strong man from the 9th level of Guishu realm, he still despises others for being weak. Is this someone else's problem? This guy is obviously too strong. Without a disciple by my side, I have to make tea by myself. Hey. Chen Daoxuan couldn't figure it out and simply stopped thinking about it. He poured himself another cup of enlightenment tea and continued to drink it leisurely. At the same time, I miss my succubus disciple a little. If Yanran is here, I don't need to make tea by myself, and it will still be pleasing to the eye. In the Luo Tian sect's main hall, the sect leader sat on the throne, with several elders standing on both sides, except for the sect leader Luo Wu, who is at the 5th level of the Nirvana realm. The other elders are at the lowest level at the Ruins realm. It can be regarded as the top first-class force in this northern region. Among the many immortal cultivating forces in the northern territory, including the Luo Tian sect, there are only 4 first-class forces with strong men in the Nirvana realm. Sect Master, there are only less than 3 months left before the opening of the Red Cloud Valley secret realm, which will be opened once 100 years. Why hasn't the chief returned yet? If the opening of the secret realm is delayed, then... An elder frowned slightly, extremely dissatisfied with the fact that the chief disciple Zhang Tianzi came down the mountain at this critical moment when the secret realm was about to open. If things in the secret realm are delayed and there is no chief disciple to lead the team, what huge losses will their Luo Tian sect suffer? Without the chief disciple in the secret realm, Luo Tian sect would have no qualifications to compete with the other 3 sects for resources. Don't worry, Tian'er won't delay such an important matter. This time Tian'er came down from the mountain because of this matter. Tian'er discovered that in a small family in Moro, there is a woman with a special physique. If she can cultivate with her, her realm will be greatly improved. As long as Tian'er returns, he might be able to join the secret realm at the 7th or even 8th level of Tongxian realm. This secret realm will also be a great victory for our Luo Tian sect. That when Master Luo Wu heard the elder's dissatisfied words, he chuckled and comforted him. He was fully aware of Zhang Tianzi's purpose of going down the mountain, and even arranged for 2 elders from the returned Ruins realm to follow him to ensure that nothing went wrong. As long as everything goes well, this secret realm is an opportunity for Luo Tian sect to completely surpass other sects and become the #1 force in the Northern Territory. Hiss, that's it. In this case, I won't worry about it anymore. When many elders heard this, they immediately took a breath and a light flashed in their eyes. The strength of the chief disciples of the 4 major sects is among the best. If Zhang Tianzi can temporarily break through a few smaller realms, he will be able to crush them in the secret realm. When I think that Luo Tianzong is about to harvest a lot of resources in the secret realm, and also have the opportunity to kill other sect geniuses in the secret realm. Many elders couldn't help but get excited, but just at this moment, a figure stumbled into the hall. Zong, sect leader, something serious has happened. The disciple looked horrified. He didn't even have time to cross the threshold of the hall before he tripped and fell to the ground. Bastard thing. It's not appropriate to act in a panic. Don't lose your manners in front of the sect master. Calm down first before talking. One of the elders was the disciple's master. When he saw his disciple showing such a posture, he immediately felt that he had lost face in front of many of his fellow disciples, even if it is a scolding. After hearing what the master said, the disciple could only swallow 2 mouthfuls of spit and force himself to calm down. Tell me, what happened? Why are you so panicked? Seeing that the disciple had calmed down a lot, the sect leader Luo Wu asked calmly. Report to the sect master. Senior brother Zhang's life card is broken. The disciple did not dare to look directly into the eyes of the sect master, lowered his head, and spoke tremblingly. Senior brother Zhang. Which disciple named Zhang has his life card broken? Send someone to investigate and find out who attacked our Luo Tian sect disciples. Just get rid of them. When Master Luo Wu heard this, he had no emotion in his heart. For cultivators, life and death are common matters. It's just a disciple who dies. Helping him take revenge and letting outsiders know the consequences of taking action against Luo Tianzong disciples. The broken life card belongs to senior brother Zhang Tianze. What did you say? Chapter 018 Master Luo Wu is furious and a strange beast. You are listening at novelfull.audio. What? Zhang Tianze, Tianer's life card, is broken. Click. When Master Luo Wu heard this, he was stunned for a moment. The armrest of the main seat turned into crumbs in his hands. His whole aura was almost out of control. The terrifying pressure of the Nirvana realm burst out, overwhelming many elders present. You can barely resist it by arching your waist slightly, and the disciple who came to report was now pressed so hard that he was pressed tightly to the ground. He couldn't even move a finger. He looked like he would not be able to survive if he continued like this. Metropolitan, seeing that his disciple was dying, an elder quickly shouted. This sound also brought Master Luo Wu, who had lost control of his coercion, back from his gaffe. The whole person's aura quickly became restrained, and many elders were relieved, and the disciple was lying on the ground, breathing heavily as if he had just escaped from death. No. This sect leader also sent the 7th elder and the 3rd elder to accompany Tianer to the Moro kingdom. How could an accident happen? Master Luo Wu suddenly remembered something and couldn't help but frown. It is said that in the capital of Moro kingdom, there is only one strong person in Guishu realm, that emperor, and he is only at the 3rd or 4th level of Guishu realm. Whether it is the 3rd elder or the 7th elder, they can easily suppress it. How could Tianer have an accident in Moro? Sect Master, the life cards of the 3rd elder and the 7th elder are also broken. The time when the 3 life cards were broken was not long apart. I'm afraid, it was the work of one person. The disciple heard the sect master's words and added tremblingly. Fart. The 3rd elder is now at the 9th level of the Guishu realm, and is one step away from breaking through the Nirvana realm. How could he fall into the Moro kingdom? After hearing this, Master Luo Wu suddenly became furious. Losing Zhang Tianze, the chief disciple, was already a painful price that he could not accept. If he lost 2 more elders of the Guishu realm, and even one was the 3rd elder of the 9th level of the Guishu realm, he felt like he was about to vomit blood. In the mere Moro kingdom, the strongest person is only the 4th level of Guishu. How could such a small place allow Luo Tian sect to suffer such a big loss? Disciple, everything the disciple said is true. The disciple felt the sect master's anger and was so frightened that he buried his head lower. However, it was a fact that the 2 elders and the chief's life cards were broken. What else could he do except report it truthfully? You go down first. Don't make this matter public. Master Luo Wu was silent for a long time, and finally waved his hand to the disciple, and then looked at the many elders present. Everyone felt the sect leader's gaze and lowered their heads in fear. They knew that the sect leader might be really angry this time. The loss of 2 elders, plus the chief disciple Zhang Tianze, even before the secret realm opened. Now even if you want to find someone to take Zhang Tianze's place temporarily, it's too late. 2nd elder, go to the Moro kingdom and investigate who killed Tianer and the 2 elders. I, Master Luo Wu, will definitely cut this man into pieces. In addition, if my sect suffered such a fate in the Moro kingdom, the emperor of the Moro kingdom cannot escape the responsibility and punish him. If he doesn't understand, Master Luo Wu finally laid his eyes on the 2nd elder and issued the order in a cold tone. The murderous intent was evident in his words, and he gritted his teeth, wishing to kill the thief immediately. Yes, I'll do it now, that the second elder bowed quickly and hurriedly exited the hall, heading towards the Moro Kingdom. Don't make any announcement about this matter for the time being. I will make further plans for the secret realm. You all should step aside. After the second elder left, Master Luo Wu left a few words, then stood up and left the scene. Only a group of elders were left looking at each other, sighing, and dispersed. One day later, an eye-catching figure quickly shuttled through the void mountain, with its plump and round figure rising and falling. Why don't these ferocious beasts in the mountain of illusion attack me this time? Yanran was a little confused. The last time she entered the void mountain, these ferocious beasts would rush forward to fight as soon as they saw her and the three killers, but this time, those ferocious beasts seemed to be avoiding her. No, that wasn't right. When going down the mountain, it seemed that I was not harassed by any vicious beasts. At that time, I was in a hurry to get back to Leng's house, but I didn't take this detail to heart. Now that I think about it, it's a bit strange. Thinking of this, Yanran couldn't help but pause slightly. She sensed the aura of a ferocious beast. Instead of walking around, she chased after it. After a moment, a ferocious tiger beast that was 7 or 8 meters tall appeared in front of him, but after the tiger just glanced at her, as if he saw something terrifying, he immediately turned around and ran for his life. Then Tiger King at least has the strength of Tongxian realm. Why is he so afraid of me? Could it be? Yanran suddenly thought of something and looked down at the jade pendant given to her by her master on her chest. The only possibility is because of this jade pendant given by master. However, after confirming that the ferocious beasts were indeed avoiding her, Yanran sprinted towards the Tiandao Palace again, and she no longer needed to be wary of the ferocious beasts' attacks, which made her feel much more relaxed. It wasn't until Yanran had left for half a month that the ferocious beast Tiger King in the Tongxian realm breathed a long sigh of relief and looked happily at the direction she was leaving. Why does she have the aura of that temple? Can't afford to offend, can't afford to offend. The ferocious beasts in this false mountain all know about the temple halfway up the mountain. The instinct of the ferocious beasts makes them dare not approach within 10 miles of the temple. It was as if there was an ancient giant monster sitting in the temple. Just looking at the temple from a distance made these ferocious beasts crawl on the ground and tremble. Now that Yanran carries the aura of the temple, these ferocious beasts naturally avoid her, not to mention taking the initiative to provoke him. It was too late to hide. Yanran, who was much faster, returned to the vicinity of the temple in a short time. Seeing the figure sitting quietly in the small pavilion, she felt that the grievance she had hidden in her heart could no longer be stopped. Just like a child who was bullied, who endured his grievance and came home to see the elders in his family, his nose was sore and his eyes were red. Came back. Chen Daoxuan naturally noticed his disciple's return, smiled lightly and waved to him, indicating that he should come and sit down before talking. Master. Chapter 019 Notify Luo Tianzong and welcome the destruction of the family. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yanran felt ashamed when she thought that when she went down the mountain this time, she not only caused trouble, used the life-saving trump card given by her master, but even let her master save her in person in the end. She thought that master would severely punish her when she returned to the mountains, but she didn't expect that master would just smile so gently and quietly let her sit down, not even a word of punishment. Originally, in Yanran's mind, all male creatures were the same. Wouldn't they all be attracted to her unconsciously just by looking at her? But the master was completely different. He was so kind to her and didn't make any demands on her. What kind of virtues and abilities does she have, Yanran? Did she get such a good master in exchange for the creation of sentient beings in her previous life? Why are you standing there stupidly? Come sit down and tell me what happened this time. Seeing her standing there blankly, Chen Daoxuan couldn't help but speak again. Yes, master. After hearing this, she quickly stepped forward and came to the small pavilion. Seeing that the tea in master's cup had reached the bottom, he first respectfully picked up the teapot and refilled the tea for master, and then sat down opposite him honestly. Being bullied, Chen Daoxuan was quite satisfied when he saw this. His disciple was sensible and not bad. after taking a sip of tea, he asked softly, but this concern became the last straw that overcame Leng Yanran's grievance. Why did she have to be killed by the elders who supported her after she killed the chief disciple of Luo Tian's sect in order to protect herself? Why should she worry about Luo Tianzong's revenge on her after she had no choice but to resist? If she had no family, no sect, and no master to support her, wouldn't she be reduced to Zhang Tian's furnace? Thinking of this, Leng Yanran's originally red eyes suddenly sparkled and fell down her beautiful face. In the past, no one cared about her. She relied on herself to survive among many talented people, and tried every means to protect her innocence, but now, there is someone who can care about her and protect her. Master, disciple, disciple. Leng Yanran choked with sobs and wanted to express her grievances and feelings towards her master, but before she could continue, she saw the master standing up, holding her in his arms, and patting her back gently. It's okay. I will support you from now on. You can cry if you want. After you cry, you will never feel wronged again. Chen Daoxuan need to think about it. He also knew that his disciple must have many suppressed emotions in his heart. The beauty in his arms was sobbing, but he didn't have any evil thoughts at this time. He just wanted to let the grievances in his disciple's heart go away. Leng Yanran couldn't bear it anymore and lay in her master's arms to vent all her grievances over the years. After a long time, Leng Yanran sheepishly raised her head from her master's arms. I saw that the clothes on master's chest were soaked with her tears. Disciple lost his temper. She lowered her head and blushed, not daring to look at the master. Thinking about her ugly appearance just now, Leng Yanran wanted to find a crack in the ground to crawl in. After going down the mountain for the second time, as soon as I came back, I cried loudly to the master. What is this? Leng Yanran, how could you be so arrogant in front of master? It doesn't matter. Can you let go of the grievance in your heart? Chen Daoxuan chuckled disapprovingly and ruffled her hair. After the farce just now, Chen Daoxuan felt that the relationship between the two had become much closer, and they were no longer as reserved as before. Disciple is doing much better. Master, can you let this disciple go? Leng Yanran immediately blushed and said that she was fine. However, although the master's embrace was broad and warm, Leng Yanran always felt a little shy at this moment. Feeling the hands around her waist and the strong arms, Leng Yanran felt that she could no longer hold on. How great it would be if this innate charm could also have an effect on master. For a moment, Leng Yanran's thoughts were wandering and she didn't know where to go. Oh, sit down and tell the teacher about the process of this trip. After hearing this, Chen Daoxuan realized what he was doing, quickly took back the hand on his waist, and sat back in his seat. Feeling the master's slender fingers passing through her waist, it felt itchy, and Leng Yanran couldn't help but feel a little hot. However, he still sat down opposite the master honestly. He began to tell master about his journey down the mountain and his experiences. Chen Daoxuan, on the other hand, was drinking tea leisurely and listening to his disciple's story. Calmly, at the same time, you can also enjoy the treatment of disciples pouring tea and water, and it is extremely pleasing to the eye. But suddenly, with a word, the teacup that Chen Daoxuan was holding froze in place, and his whole face turned dark. If you want the horse to run, you have to give it grass. Then which sect does Chief Lao Shizhi come from? Chen Daoxuan's face was gloomy. He didn't even bother to taste the tea in the cup, and put it back on the stone table with a bang. How dare you say such dirty words to his disciples? Even he, who is a master, has not, he is not willing to let go. How dare that guy? Reporting to master, Zhang Tianze is the chief disciple of Luo Tianzong. He is a disciple of the Luo Tian sect, the Master Luo Wu Yanran. As for the cultivation level of Yanran Luo Wu, it is said that he is already at the 5th level of Nirvana realm. Leng Yanran also didn't expect that the master's face would suddenly change because of these words. Although she was furious at Zhang Tianze's words at the time, her anger dissipated after killing him. The one who can feed her is Zhang Tianze. He deserves it too. Needless to say, if you don't want to know about the realm of real people, you don't need to know. Chen Daoxuan raised his hand to interrupt Leng Yanran, who continued to talk about Luo Tianzong's intelligence information. Originally, he was thinking that Lang Yanran had formed a relationship with that sect, and if there was a chance, he could harvest a wave of system points, but when he thought about how his disciples didn't suffer any big losses this time, but the other party's people were dying, they couldn't bear to directly destroy their sect, but now, since Luo Tianzong is so seeking death, no wonder he is cruel. After all, cultivators are supposed to prey on the weak and the strong. Even if their sect is wiped out, they can only blame themselves for being too weak. Contact the Leng family to spread the news, and in half a month, let Luo Tianzong welcome the family to be destroyed. Those who quit Luo Tian's sect will be spared their lives. Those who have not quitted Luo Tian's sect will be killed without mercy. After Chen Daoxuan took a long breath, he gave instructions to Lang Yanran in a calm tone. Chapter 020 Training Room. Spa. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Although Chen Daoxuan's tone was very calm, when these words fell into Lang Yanran's ears, her eyes suddenly froze. Luo Tian's sect is one of the 4 major sects in the northern region, and its sect leader is a strong man in the Nirvana realm. As long as Luo Tianzong says a word, even the Moro kingdom will be destroyed in an instant, let alone the Leng family. But despite being such a powerful force, it seemed like child's play in Master's eyes. Just one sentence determined the death date of Luo Tianzong. As for whether Master can wipe out the Luo Tian sect, she has no doubt at all. In her heart, the various miracles performed by her Master were probably not much different from the immortal realm. In the eyes of Master, the mere Luo Tian sect is probably nothing more than a group of ants, and in the Nirvana realm, they are nothing more than bigger ants. Disciple accepts the order and informs the Leng family to spread the news. Lang Yanran was surprised and quickly agreed, and I was quite moved by Master's decision to destroy the Luo Tian sect. How could a force like Luo Tianzong be able to enter the Master's eyes? The reason why he wants to exterminate his family is not to support himself. With a Master like this, even if you die, you will have no regrets. Without delay, Lang Yanran took out a sound transmission jade pendant from her arms and informed the head of the family, Cold War. Then he helped Master make tea and sit quietly for a while. You're tired after this, so take a good rest for a day. Teacher, I will show you something good. Chen Daoxuan thought about it and realized that this half-month can be used to help Yanran improve her strength. When Ji stood up and walked towards the main hall, Lang Yanran quickly followed behind. Following the Master, I can't help but feel a little curious in my heart. What is the good thing that Master said? After entering the Tiandao Palace, Chen Daoxuan walked towards a closed room. Walking closer, with a slight wave, the door opened automatically, and a puff of water vapor suddenly filled the air, and the inside was filled with smoke, making it difficult to see the scene. Although Lang Yanran was curious, she did not dare to lose her etiquette in front of the Master. When Chen Daoxuan slowly walked into it, she quickly followed his footsteps. After entering the palace, Lang Yanran could see the scenery and layout clearly. A large pool was filled with water, but the water was a little special, as if it was extremely rich in spiritual energy. Originally, within the scope of Tiandao Palace, the spiritual energy was already extremely rich, and it would not be an exaggeration to call it a holy land for cultivation. But in this room, the spiritual energy is so rich that Lang Yanran can't accept it. Just by breathing, she can feel a large amount of spiritual energy entering the body. If one practices here, one day can be as strong as the outside world for more than 100 days. Master, this water. No, this is not water. Is this because the spiritual energy is too strong and condensed into a liquid state? Lang Yanran wanted to ask her Master what kind of magic weapon this water was. But he suddenly realized that what kind of water was this? It was clearly a spiritual energy that was too rich to form a liquid. Even if you just fill a small bottle and put it outside, it can be sold for a sky-high price. How much should such a large pool of liquid spiritual energy be worth? Yes, this is exactly what aura is formed from. After you came down from the mountain, you had nothing to do as a teacher, so I thought of setting up a spirit gathering array and preparing a training room for you. That's right, I may have used too much force. After the spirit gathering array was deployed, the spiritual energy in the room began to turn into liquid, so I could only transform it into a hot spring. Seeing his disciple's surprised reaction, Chen Daoxuan explained awkwardly, he also didn't expect that the spirit gathering array he set up casually would have such an outrageous effect. It was obviously just the most basic formation that was exchanged for one system point in the system mall. In the end, this effect can only be attributed to the fact that he is too invincible within the scope of the Tiandao Palace. Is it just a basic formation that Master casually laid out? Leng Yanran's lips parted slightly. Even though she knew how powerful her master was, she was still shocked again and again. After all, these operations are far beyond her knowledge of the world. Do not mind the details. Although the training room has not been built, this hot spring is also very helpful for training. By the way, just wait a moment, and I will add some ingredients to it for you. Chen Daoxuan touched his nose and felt a little embarrassed that he didn't even have a training room, but as long as it can increase the speed of cultivation, who says that a hot spring cannot be considered a cultivation room? With a wave of his hand in the air, he picked a handful of fresh enlightenment tea leaves. Before Leng Yanran could figure out why the teacher suddenly took out the tea leaves and planned to take them to make tea for her master, she was suddenly stunned. I saw that the precious tea leaves, which can help people enter the state of enlightenment, were thrown into the hot spring pool by the master. Leng Yanran suddenly felt her heart twitching twice. I don't know why, my heart hurts so much. She was reluctant to drink it herself, having only tasted 1 cup before she entered a state of enlightenment. It even improved to the realm of the first heaven, but Master actually threw it into the hot spring pool. Could it be that you want to drink this liquid spirit bubble tea? By the way, that must be the case. Such a large pool of spiritual liquid, combined with enlightenment tea, is enough to drink slowly for several months. By the way, can you take the bottle of marrow cleansing pill that my master gave you before? Chen Daoxuan didn't care about this, but asked Yanran. The marrow cleansing pill given by the master is more precious than the elixir. Disciple always keeps it with me. Leng Yanran quickly answered the master's words. Well, take one out and throw it into the pool. Chen Daoxuan said indifferently, this marrow cleansing pill can be swallowed directly. If it is blended into the spiritual liquid, it will naturally be absorbed by taking a bath. Throw the marrow cleansing pill into the pool. Leng Yanran was stunned by these words. She had eaten one of that marrow cleansing pill before and knew how precious it was. Just that marrow cleansing pill, combined with the chaos heavenly demon art given by her cultivation master, allowed her to break through from the 4th level of the sky control realm to the Tongxian realm in less than a day. It even washed away many impurities and filth in her body, greatly improving her aptitude and meridians. It can be said that it is no less precious than enlightenment tea. However, the master has said so, so naturally Leng Yanran will not disobey the master's wishes. Just thinking about where she kept this marrow cleansing pill, Leng Yanran's face turned red with embarrassment. Under Chen Daoxuan's shocked gaze, she put her hand into the wrapping around her chest and took out the jade bottle containing the marrow cleansing pill. He lowered his head, not daring to look at Master, and handed it to Master with both hands. Hiss, it's still warm.